Multiple inputs. This is kind of my final section. I'll try and get through it fairly quickly. What I mean by that is we were going after, in this next spot for PS3, we had to try and communicate with one of the most hardcore audiences there are, the gamer. This is a part of the demographic that can concentrate on multiple things at once and likes to see everything all at once and really wants to. They're not just Game Boys. We had to deal with fanboys that were going to dissect and really check out every frame of what we did. So we felt really inspired to just pour every ounce of resources we could into this PS3 spot. One thing that I thought was related, I saw it kind of before we did it, was I was looking at a blog and they showed me this test for the Swedish Armed Forces that tries to test you doing 3 things at once and answering math equations, and they're using this kind of spatial thinking and memory tricks and all that to get people of the younger age to test well into the military, which is scary. Those icons there are very reminiscent of the PlayStation. Here's another person that we were trying to talk to. This is, there's a game called Guitar Hero. I don't know if you guys are familiar, but check this kid out. Are you guys familiar with that game? Okay. I found this on YouTube. It's like a 7-minute song. I kind of chopped it up. That clicky sound you're hearing? That's my man. He's just rocking out, but he's not even like moving. He's moving through this thing so fast. When we saw something like this, we understand that we're dealing with a whole new generation of individuals. And I gotta get to the end here, because... Oh, come on. That kid's rad. I love him. So the last project that I have to show, which is one of this coincidentally occurred at the same time as we were doing Pioneer. Our client, again, Chiat Day, came to us with this look. They said, hey, we want everything coming out of the box, and they had a very flat, iconic look, but we want you to bring some life to it. These are more of their storyboards, which I was really impressed with. It didn't feel like they were covering any ground that I hadn't seen before, but for an agency to do boards that were really worthwhile graphically is always a nice place to begin. And they showed outdoor signage, and it looked like it had an intense presence that they were going after. So we went right into design exploration. Here's an initial frame from Will Johnson that they weren't interested in. I can't imagine. So they were looking, I should say that here's a frame that I did, too elegant, too simple. Here's one that was too gooey and looked kind of Spider-Man-like. They were not into that. We had a presentation in our Seattle office and LA office, and I was still in Seattle. We were showing stuff to them, and they're like, yeah, we're not interested in this, move on. But when they got to, oh, they didn't like that either. When they got to this kind of this mechanized, organic collision, and combined it with this frame where there was some lighting and a certain amount of shininess, they felt that this was really an ownable. That was a word that they used, the client used, was looking for something very ownable that couldn't be said to be somebody else's. So we won the job. That was, oh, one more thing from the pitch. Here we did some storyboards. They said, combine those 2 looks and make a storyboard. Here comes the storyboard, and also a little motion test to support it. So we still haven't gotten paid a dime to be going after this, but that particular piece of animation actually ended up being in the spot and being the end of all their commercials. So we went into production. I'm doing this pretty quick because I'm running out of time. But we actually simultaneously did very, very detailed storyboards, hand-drawn. Within these things, we embedded we had a lot of things to deal with. We were trying to show the motion paths. Here's a kind of a route, a 3D beat map of how the camera would fly through the object and what you would see at the time. And we were trying to coordinate not just what the 3D object was doing, but what were the objects you were seeing and how did they relate to the game that you're going in and out of. And we knew that that crowd, that fanboy gamer crowd that was going to investigate this thing to death, was going to be looking for all these little Easter egg things. Here come some more expanded boards where we're still drawing and using Photoshop and getting it closer to the look. This is the initial test for it. So you see within this that we're getting their footage in there, and then we're just roughing in animation as simply as possible. But again, like in the Pioneer piece, was really instrumental in helping us figure it out. The team that worked on this was about 9 guys, and they're some of the best 3D artists I've had the pleasure of knowing. You'll start to see some ideas that just didn't make it through. Again, rough cut, animatic. I'll move on to the next one. Oh wow. Oh, that might be the final piece. Hold on. I'll pause there. Oh. Okay, I'm just going to play this for you because I think I'm out of time.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. You've seen that seeing is believing. Your ears and your eyes will be bleeding. Please check to see if you're still breathing. Do you know it? Do you need it? Let me hear it. Ladies and gentlemen, do you know it? Do you need it? Let me hear it.
We're particularly proud of the fact that the transitions from the games to the graphics actually made each other look better. There wasn't this, oh, cool graphics, and then, shitty game footage. It really felt like they smoothly connected, and there was a nice synergy there. So that was a big deal to us. I'll show you the 30-second version, and I'll show you a couple things to look out for while watching it. Okay. This first frame, notice the rings on my man's hand there. Those are the icons. There's a lot of diversity here of different kinds of weaponry. That's a big deal. That access from a game, I don't know which, but we were modeling things straight from video games. Let's keep on going here. Just a beautiful transition. That might be my favorite one. That's Ratchet's gun that we had to remodel. It had to be perfect because somebody's going to say something on the web. These are guns. That's a sword. That's a sword from Heavenly Sword. These are guns from Warhawk. Again, that was important. Because why wouldn't it be? Let's see, what's next? Those are those Warhawks. And then that flock of birds, when you see it at high def, is actually more Warhawks. This guy's a character in some crazy game. And then that's the Heavenly Sword game. There's just great moments there. I'm gonna freeze on this frame. Look at that. There's just a lot of. I just want to freeze it there because there's so much thought put into what went where and when and who would notice it and why. And I have to give our client a lot of credit for that. They were relentless, and we went through tons and tons of revisions and edits on this piece. And the guys that worked on it worked really hard. So
Only on PlayStation 3.
I had a lot more to say. I think I overwrote my speech, but I thank you guys so much for listening to me. Kind of a lame door prize, but I brought some stickers. So, but they're cool. They're a little logo, a little bunny. So, if anybody wants those.